Sir, can you prove that Sanskrit is superior to all other languages of the world?
Yes, you know, very deep research was undertaken about the origin and growth of Sanskrit, not by Indians but by foreigners. The researchers of UNESCO, they engaged themselves in a very deep research about Sanskrit. They have found out a few surprising data. Do you know that Sanskrit is the only language which has a vocabulary diction? I mean the number of words. Sanskrit has 102 billion words. I am not talking of millions, I am talking of billions. Sanskrit has 102 billion words. For one indication, say, take water, W-A-T-E or water. There are 100 words in Sanskrit to indicate water. Say, toyam, neera, and several other words, salila. All these words, every object has hundreds of words. Some people say that the Greek language is there, Arabian language is there, Persian is there, Chinese is there. They have a higher count of vocabulary diction. But these reports have been found to be not true on verification. International scholars have delved deep into these statements and they have come out with a judgment that Sanskrit has the maximum number of words. No other language in the world has this many words. And you might ask, what is the use of having so many words? You must think for yourself. What is the purpose of language? Why is there a language at all? When one man wants to communicate his ideas to another, he uses the language as a medium. So, any language which is most successful in this motive, in communication, that will be the best language. Sanskrit has this speciality, first of all. When you convey an idea through Sanskrit, there is no possibility for equivocation or wrong representation of an idea. I'll try to make you understand by an example. When I say, the elephant is black, if the listener understands that an elephant is white, it is a failure to my capacity of communication. I have wrongly made him understand that. Of course, black is black only. To make you understand, I say that. For example, in English you say, when one man meets another, he asks him, how do you do? He replies, how do you do? Now, what is the meaning of these four words? How do you do? The word do means acting, doing a work, either eating or sleeping or dressing or dancing or walking or running. The word do is used for that only. Now, this man, in order to ask him, how are you? How is your life? He says, how do you do? And that man returns, how do you do? Now, how does this expression indicate the enquiry of a man's health and position and occupation? If you tighten the meaning, you can at best say, when I ask a man, how do you do? I inquire about his profession. How does he do his profession? No, it is a roundabout way of communication. The most apt way of using this phrase will be this. Now, there is one man who is trying to envelop his book with a wrapper. He is not able to do it. There is another man who is sitting opposite to him. He has successfully wrapped his book using the same wrapper. Now, this man who is not able to do it, he will ask him, how do you do? I am not able to do. How do you do? Then he will demonstrate how he did. On such an occasion, the expression, how do you do, is apt and correct. But when you meet a man for the first time, asking, how do you do? It is silly. It is rubbish. But English has such expressions. In the same way, if you say few men study Sanskrit, we are tempted to think that only a small number of people study Sanskrit. But strictly speaking, grammatically, that is not the meaning. When I say few men study Sanskrit, I mean that nobody studies Sanskrit. There, the word few is used in the sense of nobody. This is the English custom. Like this, we can refer to hundreds of usages which fail us in understanding. Such complications you can never find in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is noted for its sharpness of expression. When it utters a sentence, there are no chances for misunderstanding. What does the speaker want to convey? That will be directly conveyed by his expressions. The construction of Sanskrit is like that. Then, they say Sanskrit is very much computer friendly. When you feed in a computer a particular language, other languages create a sort of complicated feeding. Whereas Sanskrit is very easy to feed in a computer. Then chronologically speaking, UNESCO has found out that Rig Veda is the earliest human book. Earliest human literature is Rig Veda. So naturally, it is Sanskrit is the most ancient language. So there are many more reasons I can give, but that will take up time. Undoubtedly, Sanskrit is superior to any other language in the world. It is the mother of, if not all languages, most languages. Its impact is found in the languages of Singapore, Malaysia, Middle East countries, Greece, and even in English, the impact is found. Greek, Latin, and German, these languages resemble in structure, in grammatical structure, Sanskrit. But Sanskrit tops above every other language. There's no doubt about it.